So this is for everyone. So what's your favourite genre of film?
Documentaries. I love documentaries, and obviously I understand how like movies are supposed to be kind of escapism, but I just love the way they can almost dramatize reality and kind of manipulate it slightly.
For me, some of the best films, you can't necessarily put them in one category. I enjoy gangster films like Goodfellas, The Godfather, whatever, but then they're two very different kind of films, even though they're technically the same genre.
I love horror films, like the old-fashioned jump scares and stuff. I really enjoy that, and thrillers as well. So I'm more of like a adrenaline sort of film. But then I like all films really, but because I struggle to sit through long films like The Hobbit. I just couldn't really sit through that one film all in one go, and I need to get better at it, but I just can't really do it. But yeah, horror films I would say for me.
I'd say sort of the same as Daniel. You know, there's a lot of films that I love, but none of them are really in the same genre. I mean, I love films like I'm a sucker for heist films and stuff like Mission Impossible. Those are brilliant films. Then you've also got like epic fantasies like Lord of the Rings, which just really they're perfect escapism. I don't know, I just love them.
I'm going to say the same as kind of what Nathan and Daniel said. There's lots of different types of films. The films I like are based on their own individual storyline, but that and on characters and how they're done rather than what genre they are. Unlike Hugo, I guess I really don't like horror films, but other than that, quite open to most types of genres.
Going a lot more specific, what's your favourite film, or do you have a film that really stuck with you?
I really liked Joker, and I guess it's quite a similar character in many ways to Finn. I guess in the kind of rather sadistic, and you don't really know where they're at, where he's at, in the same way that you don't really know where Finn is at, because there's kind of lots of moments. For example, one moment that sticks out in my memory is when he's on the bus and he's getting some strange looks from the mother behind, who's got a crying baby, and then he kind of comforts the baby and seems all very innocent and caring towards just a random member of the public. But then obviously the last scene is him running through the kind of bloody footsteps out of the kind of mental hospital. So having killed whoever, I think his carer, I'm not entirely sure, but it's that kind of you don't really know whether they're innocent or actually evil, and I think kind of Finn's quite a lot like that.
I can't pick one, to be honest. There's just so many. Notorious Alfred Hitchcock film. I think that's the best Hitchcock film, and he's possibly my favourite director, so that's got to be up there. Moonlight, a couple of years ago, that was a beautiful film. I love anything by Scorsese, really, apart from The Departed. I just can't pick one.
I know it's not the best film ever made, but I love 12 Angry Men, just because I feel like it's so like impressive to create such an interesting story, just with literally like 2 locations pretty much throughout the whole film, and just really intense dialogue and just a really interesting moral dilemma. And I think that's what I like films that speak to something more than just, you know, not too self-contained. So also I loved Us, but I don't know if that's my favourite, but this year that's probably my favourite. But I'd probably say 12 Angry Men.
Could I just say something about 12 Angry Men? There's a certain moment in that, I love the film as well, Luca, where they've been arguing the whole time. You've got this very intense human drama going on. Then suddenly all the sound cuts out and they open the window, you just hear the rain outside. Like that for me.
Oh yeah.
Is like one of the best atmospheres ever created. And that's inspired me a lot.
Yeah, it like gives all the characters and also the audience a break and just to sit in what just happened pretty much. Yeah.
There's so many films that like I just absolutely adore, but my favourite is probably like Parasite. That just how it interwove so many different genres. I mean, there was a bit of horror, there was a bit of like action, there was even a bit of comedy in there. And it just interwove them beautifully, and it even had like so many themes of like poverty and just disaster and things like that. I thought it was an exceptional film. Definitely deserved the reward it got.
It's not I don't know if it's a hugely well-known film, but I remember I watched this in film studies for my GCSE back at school, and Daniel and Luca were telling me about this film. It's called Attack the Block, and I just thought it's quite a good film because it has John Boyega in it, like pre his like big break with Star Wars. It's basically about an alien invasion that comes to like a southeast London block of flats, and it's really like it's obviously quite funny in the sense that it's an alien invasion, but it deals with like some really actual like hard hitting like issues as well. So I really like that film. And you have the different character roles and character types within that, so it's good. I would say that's my favorite film. But there's so many, like, I don't think I can pick one, but that's a really good one for me.
Personally, I don't have a favourite film, but a film that has stuck with me is, you might not have heard of it, but it's called The Truman Show.
Yeah. I like
Oh,
it.
yeah, I've seen that. That's a good
That's a
film.
sick
Yeah.
film, yeah.
Actually, Nathan lent
Yeah,
me the
that
DVD
film.
for that. I wouldn't have seen it if Nathan had
That's
lent me
top
the
10,
DVD.
top 10 all films of all time.
It's a really interesting premise. It's quite simple premise actually, but it's also really like interesting in just the way that it's like some guy discovering the fact that his life is a lie. And it's really like that. So the final question I have for everyone is, what would you say your future is going to be?
Obviously, at the moment at college, I'm doing acting right now. So that's something I really enjoy. And obviously, if Daniel has any other projects lined up, I'm sure we'd all be happy to help if he has any new projects. Because like, with Daniel, like, he's always thinking of new ideas, so it's good. But for me, I do want to try and like start writing my own stuff, like the scripts and stuff. But yeah, I think acting is where I want to go for now, with at least school and see how well that takes me. Obviously, it's quite an unpredictable sort of career to choose, but yeah, I'm kind of happy doing that right now.
Obviously, I'd love to work in films. I'm obviously going to keep that option open, but I think a likely option is probably going into advertising. But I'm not. It's very possible that I'll still work in. Hopefully, I'm not. You know, if the opportunity presents itself, I'd obviously love to work in film, as probably maybe not as an actor, but I'd also love to create documentary projects, whether that be as on like from a journalist perspective, you know, short form or long form. But obviously, we'll see what happens post college. But keep my options open.
For me, like I love acting. You know, I love being in Daniel's films. It's great fun, well, every time. But I don't know. I love so many things. I love history. I love biology. And so I'm really not sure at this point what I'm going to go into. But I'm just trying to keep my options open.
I can definitely see myself carry on and kind of doing the odd acting project here and there, helping Daniel out. Whenever he creates a new film idea, which I'm sure will be quite frequently. But I mean, personally, I want to go into engineering, which I know is completely nothing like acting, but that's where I can see my career going, sustainable engineering, hopefully. So that's what I want to do.
Or the dream film director, that's all I can say. All I've wanted for years now, so do everything I can to get there, pretty much.
So thank you everyone for being here. It's been great to talk to you all. So thank you, and go watch Daniel's new film, Alpha.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All right, a bit.